if you watched one of my earlier videos, you would have seen me sweating it out trying to get the bottom bracket out of this 1997 Specialized Hardrock steel frame mountain bike. And if you're a persistent viewer and you stayed through to the end, you would have known that I did get it out, and I've since replaced it with a current series Shimano XTR bottom bracket. Now, you might be wondering, what was the point of all that? What do I have planned for this frame? Well, it did have a purpose, and I am going to be building this frame up, and it's not going to be a period correct build, it's just going to be a functional build so I can get out on the trails and hopefully pass a few people on some modern steeds that have spent a lot more cash. Now what I've got here are all the components that I have sourced thus far, laid out for you on a trendy kids playmat. Now this collection isn't quite complete, and there's a few things here that I'm still planning on swapping out. There is a wheel set on the way, but more on that later. We head up over to the top. We've got a slight riser handlebar with a stem, definitely wider than the 55 centimeter straight handlebar that this bike had on when I acquired it, but not so wide as to make the whole thing look a bit silly. This is a 26er after all. Next on the list, we've got some Shimano XTR brake levers, which I'm pretty excited about. These things were actually the catalyst for the entire build. Stand-in grips, I'll move to foamies when I get a chance. We're going with a brand new headset here, just an FSA, which is a good value for money. And we come down to the rear derailleur, which is a SRAM XO. I've stuck with a 3x9 group set because it sort of most closely matches a 26er hardtail. Back in the day, about a decade ago, I had an S-Works stump jumper, and it was a combination of XTR and SRAM XO stuff, and I just loved it, so I thought, what better kit for this one? And you can see there I've gone with the SRAM XO shifters as well. Front derailleur, just because it's what I could get my hands on, is a Shimano XTR, again in excellent condition for its age, and the other SRAM XO shifter. It's the original seat pole that came with it, and an old Specialized saddle which might get swapped out for a Physic when budget allows. These things came with a pretty cool Specialized seat clamp, which I'll just tidy up a bit before I use. These are the other parts of the Shimano XTR rim brake V-brake set. I think these are a really nice bit of kit. They've got a bit of a cult following online, so looking forward to seeing how they go. They're in amazing condition. Carrying on with the XTR theme, we've gone with XTR triple crankset. Off the top of my head, I can't quite remember which series this is. It was the series before what I had on my 2007 S-Works. This particular set has had the chainring swapped out for Black Spire chainrings. Now the wheel set, I've actually ordered a complete wheel set that's coming with some DT Swiss 240s, but before I found those, the plan was to build up a set using these pretty nice looking White Industries hubs. They weren't that good to start with, but I stuck them on the polishing wheel and they came up a treat, so can't quite let them go yet. I think I might have to build up a second set. And the plan was to use these DT Swiss through skewers, which are kind of like a cross between a through axle and a standard quick release. Back up to the new in box parts, we've just got the XT cassette. XTRs I think are discontinued at the moment, and the price jump to them was just ridiculous, so matching chain, Schwalbe tyres, so we'll see how they go. Racing Ralph on the rear and a Rocket Run on the front. It's pretty common formula. And now the last new piece, big toss up between going for a earlier model RockShox Sid fork with the correct amount of travel, or a new Manitou R7 Pro. I went with the Manitou because basically I thought it might have been a bit stiffer. It's a 2011 model, so it's a lot newer than anything else I could find that was compatible, and it was the most recent fork I could find at this level that had the V-brake bosses. Everything else at the moment that's got V-brake bosses, RockShox are doing a Recon Silver, which is about half a kilo heavier than this thing. This thing weighs in at just around 1.5 kilos. And other than that, you're looking at the second-hand SID market, and just not sure what you're buying there, so you got to sort of budget another 100 or 200 in Australia for a full service and reseal and all the rest of it. That's providing you got a good one, and one with a long enough steerer, which is another thing that took me ages to find. So there's the group set. The plan was to build this myself, but I'm running out of time and my skills aren't great, so I think I'm going to hand over here to a professional, and next time I see you we'll be up and running with a complete bike. Thanks for watching. It's a pretty exciting day because we've got the build back from the bike shop and it looks pretty cool. The XTR V-brakes feel nice and crisp, and the SRAM XO shifters and rear derailleur are very snappy. Thought I'd better take a quick video and a few photos before I go and get it dirty on the trails, but I'll tell you what, it won't be long.